Okay, this video is all about the key traits and characteristics of the Enneagram Type 9, usually called the Peacemaker or the Mediator. Now, if you know anything about the Enneagram diagram, it's a circle. I always say it looks like a clock, only there are only 9 numbers instead of 12. And so at the top is the 9. And so you got that 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And those 9s that sit right up there on the top, that's just such the appropriate spot for them. Because the thing about 9s is that they do feel and connect to every other personality type on the Enneagram. One way that you might know if you're a Type 9 is when you try to take the Enneagram test or read those narrative paragraphs, you might think to yourself, but I'm a little bit of all these. I can't pick one because I can see every one of these in me. That's a pretty good symptom of a Type 9. And a lot of times when people are trying to figure out what type they are and I start hearing them say that, then we look closer at the Type 9. Now, in general, Type 9s are trusting, stable, nurturing, and supportive. They're good listeners. Type 9s are easy to care about and be friends with. They just want everything to go smoothly. And a lot of the Peacemaker's energy goes into trying to keep things on the even flow. And because of that, they can have a tendency to oversimplify things or not deal with upsetting things, avoid them, or minimize them. The Type 9 strengths are that they are caring, they're good listeners, and they can see all the different points of view. And when they're in their best selves, they can help bring people together. They're kind of like the glue of the Enneagram. But at their worst, they can be sort of stubborn and stuck. The vice of the Type 9 is sloth. And the best way I know to describe that to you, it's like when they're in their not healthy self, it's like they're there but not there, kind of like a zombie, kind of like they're awake but not really. They're sort of zoned out, disconnected, detached. Most often, a Type 9 isn't ever going to tell you no, even when they don't want to do something. Usually, they'll go along and agree with you, but may do it on their own good time when they're ready, or not do it at all. But they don't want to have the conflict or feel like they've upset you. So they'll often say yes when they mean no. Usually what I say about Type 9s is that if they tell you maybe, the translation for that is hell no. That's probably the closest you're going to get from a Type 9 telling you no, is a big old maybe. Let's take a look at some famous Type 9s that you may have heard of before. Norman Rockwell, Abraham Lincoln, Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, John F. Kennedy, Walt Disney, Jim Henson, Jeff Bridges, Morgan Freeman, Gina Davis, Lisa Kudrow, Matthew Broderick, Tobey Maguire, Mr. Rogers, and the characters Homer and Marge Simpson. Sometimes Type 9s really struggle with knowing exactly where they stand on any given issue because they can see all sides of an issue. It may take them longer or more work to decide exactly what their opinion is on any given situation.